Had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular now.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Tales of Shariar? I don't think I've heard of that before. When was it published?
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
The Legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
What? Is that because of the academia's strict control over books in recent years? I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait! I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street mention that name before. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten? Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers.
Madam, wait! Oh no, this is bad. You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Farazan, right? It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses... Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up!
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar!
Wow, you actually...
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of...
Can I take a look? Luckily the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize if you...
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book, I know. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. And who obtained the desert gem in the end? Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
I don't think so.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind, I'll keep... If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the first 4 volumes?
I don't have those either, actually.
Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely...
No demand? Impossible. Back then, I'd come across at least...
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen into...
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, he should have been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the Desert Gem at all? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new names and terms? Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way. It's Madar from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling... Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, Tales...
Then let's go ask around at the cafe.
Huh? Oh.
Another day, another empty...
Excuse me? But are...
Yes! Are you here to listen to my
well... sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than the
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his masters. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked that. He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of...
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes change completely. Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept to tap into popular trends. He added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the...
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether. And
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
by that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shariar. Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, my master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story, but even he won't recite Tales of Shahryar due to its ever-changing writing style and its...
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
خبرة سي خايب.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end...
Only time?
Madame Farazan?
It's been 100 years. Perhaps...
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first. But in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them. No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place.
Huh. Indeed. That is true. Readers' interests and trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shahryar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just...
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have...
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get... No, it's much... Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall?
Yes, but I don't really...
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read. As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this. My, it sounds like we've dealt with the academia before. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo. But if I wish to use it as teaching material...
Huh?
Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from the reader's messages at the back of the book. Such things as... Even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow. Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, but as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Mata? You know, I suddenly have the...
Huh? Why so suddenly?
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies. Now, let me tell you all about the ancient hero, Antara.
Teka, tas hat so abgefuckt. Mal sagen, dass Saure gedlauna ist, weil ma. مش شغالين كيسووا بس كان غير وده بشاك سوكي نعطي وكي خواو.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
What now? She's... But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make Farazan's situation more awkward? And if the academia investigated and found her at Party's DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the academia's toes? Okay then. I'm
خبر شي.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Madam Farazan, we're back! Sorry for asking again, but are you sure you can't go to parties?
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely...
Please, Madam Farazan, focus! Today's the deadline. Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah! That's right! Master sent us over to
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too... Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Farazan's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
A fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence.
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made it. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him and... Phew. I think she bought it, even though this is our first meeting. I must say,
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Farazan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the academia asks for any details...
who knows? It's been 100 years, so
then...
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
خبر خير مري واخد دارشي
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
What is the best
But where are those who share the memory?